everyone, this is Krystal Lee Moore Lucier, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore, with Royal LePage Triland Realty in London, Ontario, and this is episode 22 of Realtorlife, a fun and entertaining way to learn about life in the trenches as a real estate professional in Ontario, and hopefully to learn some valuable lessons and takeaways. Now for this week's 5 circle goals inspired by Buffini & Company, which are goals for the 5 circles of our lives: spiritual, family, business, financial, and personal. I hope you're choosing goals for yourselves every week and writing them down. My spiritual goal is to host a drive-through donation event and give significant contributions of kids' toys, food, and clothing to those who need them most in the community. I have also agreed to chair the Fund Development Committee for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of London and area, where I sit on the board already. It is an amazing organization and so important, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. For my family goal, I'm spending one-on-one time this week with different family members: my mom, my grandparents, my aunt, my dad, and also with a couple of my amazing friends. It feels amazing to be able to carve out that time, and I know it really matters. For my business goal, I'm on a vertical learning curve right now to level up my business for 2022. I'm also really excited about achieving the Royal LePage Diamond Award for 2021, and I can't wait to try and do even better next year. For my financial goal, we're aiming for a second investment property, and it is exciting. I'm also going through the process of incorporating my business personally with the help of an awesome organization who I met through the Kathleen Black Coaching Company. If you're interested in incorporating and you want to know a little bit more about it, I had so much insight given to me at this latest conference I went to. Please reach out. It's actually a lot easier than I thought. And finally, for my personal goal, I'm working with No Limits Training this month to bust through this plateau of energy and fitness and really rock the beach in January. That's right, I said the beach because we have booked a trip to the beach. And yes, we bought the cancellation insurance just in case Omicron foils our plans. I hope it doesn't though. I hope that hearing about my 5 circle goals has inspired you to choose or write down your own 5 circle goals, and I would love to keep hearing more about them. You can go to my website at www.krystalleemore.ca and find my contact info, or send me an email at krystalleemore@royallepage.ca. And now for story time. I don't know about you, but when life tries to teach me something, it rarely comes in a subtle way, and it's usually coming at all angles. The lesson I'm currently learning is a lesson I should know well by now. Slow down. You cannot do it all. You are going to burn out. Sound familiar? And the bigger question I'm always left wondering is why? Why do I keep adding to my plate when I barely have enough time to even breathe? I have such a heart to give back, so many realtors do, and such a desire to serve my clients and my community and the world. And on top of that, I have this amazing passion for life and for travel and fitness and learning. I barely have enough time to get it all in. And I mean that. I don't have enough time to get it all in. I have the same 168 hours every week that everyone else has. Something has to give. It all started 3 weeks ago when I decided to sign up for the Richard Robbins International Virtual Conference, which was promoted by my brokerage and attended by my colleagues and friends. It was awesome. As far as virtual events go, and I know that we've been to a lot of them in the last couple of years, it was different than anything I had experienced before. The energy was fantastic. The connection was amazing. It just left me feeling so excited and motivated. At the very same time, I was growing restless with my role with my US-based company that I coached with and still love. Being in Canada, it seemed like they had inadvertently forgot about us up here for a while, as COVID-19 was still a huge issue up here in Canada, and maybe not so much of an issue anymore in the US. This new company had local events that were actually happening, including one that was coming up soon in December. So I gave them a call and thought I would check it out. I spoke with this fantastic woman named Storm Fletcher. If you ever reach out to Richard Robbins International, you need to connect with Storm. She's so cool. She's amazing. We had a great conversation. And beyond that, I found out she has a close relationship with Sage Robbins. You know, the phenomenal woman who's married to Tony Robbins, my personal hero. No big deal. We had an amazing conversation and I was in. I also attended the Kathleen Black Coaching Company Ultimate Team Summit for the 4th time, although 2020 was a virtual event. That event was exactly what I needed to get pumped up and excited. While I was there, connecting with amazing people and learning amazing things, I coach with Kathleen Black Coaching as well, and I love them. I decided to start doing a time audit exercise. They had asked me to do it when I first started coaching with them, and I started, but I wasn't really committed. This time I decided to commit. First, I did a time auditing exercise where I broke down everything that I was doing in a week. Remember how I said a week has 168 hours in it? Well, as it turns out, I had committed 220 hours a week to all of the things I was doing. No wonder I was exhausted. And of those 220 hours, I'm embarrassed to say only 30 were devoted to my business. Whoa, what? I was this burned out, crazy successful realtor working part-time? When I really looked deeper, I realized I was volunteering way more than I could possibly have time for. And that all of this frenzy was firstly making me stressed out and almost burned out. It was also making me late for everything as I was racing, trying to get from one place to another. And even when I was there, I wasn't 100% engaged because I knew there was still so much I had to do. It was actually making me steal my own time back when I needed to be sleeping or working or spending time with my family. A good colleague and friend had the courage to say something to me about my scheduling and racing to appointments. And she was right. I needed something to change. And then, of course, as I mentioned, because it comes from all angles, an article showed up in my inbox. The key is to be exactly on time or 5 minutes early. Not a couple minutes after, but on time or 5 minutes early. It also said not to show up any earlier because that also conveys a lack of respect for the other person's time, or it also looks like you have nothing else to do. Success shows up on time or 5 minutes early because they haven't overscheduled. A colleague saw me at Richard Robbins at the virtual conference. There were so many people there. I'm surprised he saw me, but that was pretty cool. He invited me to lunch to do a mastermind session, and it was so awesome. He earned my professional respect for sure. He suggested a book that is right on track with this learning curve, Agent You by Nicole Lynn. Big recommend, guys. Whoa. This book is amazing and exactly what I needed. Maybe you need it too. Nicole talks about determining your purpose with 4 steps. And before I go into what those steps are, Nicole Lynn is a sports agent and a lawyer, probably the coolest person I've ever even heard of. But she talks about determining your purpose with 4 steps. It needs to be something you love, something you're good at, something that makes an impact, and something you would do for free. Very cool. For me, that thing is real estate, sort of. It's actually inspiring and leading and serving other realtors, my clients. I love inspiring and leading and serving. It's what I was made for. I see my role in the world as inspiring others to help women, men, entrepreneurs in general reach their full potential, and to help clients and just really guide people through the process. Eventually as a leader and a coach, and initially as a mentor and team leader. This means that everything I'm doing that does not get me to my ultimate do or die goal has got to go. Also, I created a mantra for 2022, and you're invited to take it on if you want. Just because I can do something doesn't mean I should do something. I'll say it again. Just because I can do it doesn't mean I should do it. There are so many opportunities that will present themselves to us, and unfortunately, we do not have the time or the energy to do them all, and we shouldn't be doing them all. We should only do the things that really lean into our purpose and what we're meant for, because someone else is meant to do some things too. We don't need to do it all. So I chose to really focus on making sure that everything I was doing led me to inspire, to serve, and to lead. I'm on week 2 of a 4-week time audit exercise. Basically, every half hour, I have to write down what I did the half hour before, and it sounds way easier than it is. Firstly, I have categories. And secondly, you have to always fight the temptation to write what you're about to do. You have to write it after it's happened, and that is where the truth comes out. Because we intend to do a lot of things, but what we actually do is what really matters. If you want a copy of this time audit exercise, I'm happy to share. You can just reach out. The one that I use is from Kathleen Black Coaching Company, and it is amazing. Not surprising because Kathleen Black Coaching Company is amazing, but that's for another day. When we focus on what needs to be done, it is astounding what can be done. At this same Kathleen Black conference, Kathleen talked about this really cool music called Hollow Sync. HOLOSYNC. And Hollow Sync is a type of meditation music that really allows you to focus. Focus is so tough right now. There's a million things that we need to do all the time. Our cell phones have become weapons of mass distraction, as I've heard them called. And really needing to focus is something we all need to do. That Hollow Sync meditation music really helps, and setting an alarm for 15 minutes and focusing on tasks 15 minutes at a time is also amazing. I recommend that you try it, and you will be blown away by the results. At the same time, I also wanted to listen to a podcast while I was folding laundry. So I threw on a podcast, Tony Robbins, love Tony, as I've mentioned. And as I was putting clean clothes away, there was Tony talking about purpose and career. Same theme. You need to choose something that is your mission. Burn the boats. What does burn the boats mean? When I went to Unleash the Power Within, which is a huge Tony Robbins conference, or UPW as the cool kids call it, in West Palm Beach, Florida in 2016, I learned about burn the boats. Tony says that you need to be so committed to taking the island that you burn your boats, because the only way you're leaving is on the enemy's boats. The enemy in this case is failure. Let's burn the boats, baby. So what are the lessons? Firstly, slow down and focus on what is important to you. And before you can do that, you have to find out what that is. Find out what your purpose is and make it your mission to get it done. So remember, it's something you love, something you're good at, something that makes an impact, and something that you would do for free. Always keep learning and leaning into your passion. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. All of the things I've been learning came from the people and the places that I keep putting myself. Whether it was the Richard Robbins International Virtual Conference, or sitting down with a colleague, or going to the Kathleen Black Conference, or even talking to my Kathleen Black coach, Ron, or talking to my Buffini coach, Darren. It really matters who you spend time with, and the books you read, and the things you listen to, and what you watch. It all goes in, and it all makes a difference. Do a time audit is my next suggestion. Where is your time going? You might be surprised, like I was, that you're robbing yourself of what you really want to focus on. And focus on that do or die goal today. If there's something that you can do to get yourself closer to that goal, I suggest you do it, because life is short and it'll make your heart happier, your life happier, because when we're doing what we're meant to do, everything feels better. So that's all for today. If you have any comments or questions or feedback, you can find me on Instagram at Your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Facebook at Krystal Moore Real Estate Sales, or by going to my website at www.krystalleemore.ca. Stay happy, healthy, and grateful, everyone. Here's to a great week of peace, laughter, love, and adventure. Take care.